Are you tired of always putting others' needs before your own? Are you constantly saying yes to things that you don't want to do? It's time to break free from being a pushover and start empowering yourself. Hello guys, my name is Promethean Barbarian. In this video I'll explain the negative effects of being a pushover, what characteristic you should be aiming for instead, and how to get there using a strategy which I created. Chapter 1. Negative effects of being a pushover. Being a pushover, or being overly nice, which is basically the same thing, is actually a bad thing. You might think you're doing people a favor by helping them out, but in the process you're getting taken advantage of. To cure yourself of being a pushover, you have to cure yourself of being overly nice. Now, let's talk about the negative effects of being a pushover. Number 1. If you're always giving, people will expect it of you. If you don't set boundaries, you will be viewed as a doormat, and you will be taken advantage of. You have to start valuing yourself, and you have to make sure that your needs are met. And you have to establish limits, which does not mean that you don't need to have sympathy for those around you. It just means that your needs are important as well. And I hear from people I know that they thought that people would like them better and see them as more valuable if they gave as much as they could to them. However, instead they found out that the people appreciated it less. Those around us will value us as much as we value ourselves. As they begin to set limits and ask for help when they needed it, people begin to notice and appreciate the contributions more. Number 2, you will develop unrealistic expectations of others. When you're being too nice to others, you'll develop unrealistic expectations for them to do the same. When they do not meet these expectations, you may become angry and resentful to them. I've noticed this in my own life. I would go above and beyond for any of my friends, and I took it personally when they were not willing to do the same for me. What I do not understand was that they were taking care of their own needs first, and it was my own responsibility to do the same for myself. Number 3, people will come to you only when they need something. When you are too nice to people, they only see you as a means to an end. People will only come to you when they think they can help them out, because they're seeing you only basically as a tool. It sounds harsh, but it is what it is. You're basically a tool for them to help them meet their own goals. And this pattern can spiral out of control if you do not set boundaries to nip it out as soon as it starts. I saw this pattern starting in my own life as well, and it quickly became overwhelming. Being able to gently say no without preventing too many reasons or arguing it was key. And even though at times I would offer to help the person get themselves organized so that they could help themselves. Number 4, you will forget about being kind to yourself. When you're busy taking care of everyone else, you will forget to be kind to yourself. This can lead to your basic needs not being met, and you might spiral into depression, anxiety, or burnout or whatever. And I found out that my overgiving distracted me from the sources of pain and suffering that were within me. I was seeking validation externally, and I did not believe that I had any value outside of other people's opinion of me. When I backed off on the constant giving, I was able to spend some time looking within, and I learned to rely on myself for validation. Now in the end, that allowed me to be more kind and understanding of others. Number 5, you will be seen as weak. Being too nice can lead other people to be seeing you as weak. Not only can this result in other people taking advantage of you, but it can also lead people to not see you as a strong leader or someone with authority. Think of it this way: women aren't attracted to nice guys, and men don't respect nice guys, because being nice isn't a virtue. When I talk to nice men, I immediately have feelings of disgust, since it's not a natural virtue to act nice as a man, but being compassionate or respectable is. Number 6, you will attract needy people. When you're too nice, you will attract people who are needy and manipulative. These people see an opportunity to take advantage of you because you have not established boundaries with them. I have noticed this in several relationships with friends. My friends were doing everything in their power to keep their girlfriends happy, and I noticed the more they did this, the more the girlfriend started putting out demands. It's okay to be a good partner and to be there for your girlfriend when she needs help, but it's mandatory to let them know that you will only be able to support them to a certain extent. Number 7, people will not trust you. Because so few people are truly nice, when you are too nice, people will wonder if you have an ulterior motive. You are likely to be met with mistrust, which will lead to difficulties in establishing relationships. I found this out when I talked to my former housemate several years ago. He was always so nice to me, to the point that I thought he was homosexual and was hitting on me. Well, turns out he was just trying to be overly nice because he feared that I would leave him if he wasn't that way. Number 8, you may become needy. When you're not meeting your own needs, you will subconsciously seek to get those needs met in other places. This can result in clinginess, needy behavior in a relationship, as well as constant seeking validation. I found that surprisingly, that the former housemate of several years ago also was very clingy to me. The moment I came home, he wanted to talk about his day, and wanted to know what I have done the same day, and also make sure to ask what plans I had on the weekends. Well, you can imagine that this behavior is quite annoying. And what will help these clingy people is to find exciting things in their lives, like hobbies or sports or anything to increase their self-confidence. Number 9, you'll become more likely to engage in addictive behaviors. When you're not able to see your own value within yourself, you're more likely to engage in addictive type behaviors in order to deal with stress. When you're constantly overgiving, you may seek escape by overspending, overeating, or any similar behaviors. Surprisingly, the housemate I just talked to you about was engaged in a lot of these behaviors I just mentioned, like spending too much money, indulging in junk food, and watching Netflix for and I'm not kidding, for 6 hours a day. And once you start seeing the value in yourself, addiction will lessen. You have to value yourself first, then you will start valuing others around you. Chapter 2, Good Characteristics. Now, I will tell you about some characteristics that you should aim for that will fix your niceness, leading to you becoming less of a pushover. So let's talk about the opposite of being a pushover, and thus what you should focus on. There are 3 characteristics that you should be focusing on, helping you to become not nice. These are: first, power. When you have the power, you can choose your own direction, action, and destiny in life. You will also feel equal to others when you have the power. The moment you feel equal to others is the moment you won't be pushed around anymore. Second, boldness. Having boldness gives you the ability to dive into the unknown. Also, being bold voices your needs and wants. When you voice your needs and wants, just like most people do, you're letting others know what you feel and need at that exact moment, leading you to stand firm in the eyes of confrontation. Third, authenticity. The ability to be you. Being authentic means you will also be true to yourself, which will help you identify which behaviors aren't helping you out in your life. Once you know what behaviors aren't helping you in your life, because they might strengthen the characteristics that make you a pushover, you will be able to disregard them. These 3 characteristics can be given as a gift, meaning people were born with them. They inherited them. The fact that you're watching this video probably means that you haven't been born with these 3 characteristics. Now, there's good news though. The 3 characteristics which I've just explained can all be attained using a strategy. You're probably thinking to yourself, a strategy? Yes. There's a strategy that will give you the power, the boldness, and the authenticity that you desire, and thus throwing away your ability to be a pushover. If you like the content so far, please subscribe to my channel and give the video a thumbs up. It will really help the channel out. Thank you. Chapter 3, Strategy to Eliminate Excessive Niceness. There is a 3-step guide that will transform you into a powerful, bold, and authentic person, shedding the niceness that you are carrying around. This strategy is extremely simple, but it's a hard process, where you will be making many mistakes, but ultimately you will triumph. First, decide not to be nice in any situation whatsoever. Make a decision today that you will never be nice again, regardless of the situation. Now, this doesn't mean that you should yell at your mother when she asks you to do something, but it does mean that you need to start listening to your wants and needs and express them. Remember, you can be respectful and compassionate without being nice. Second, do the not nice stuff that makes you scared and uncomfortable. That's the hard part. It's basically you against you now. It's your fears and doubts that will be felt within when you start to not being nice anymore in these kind of situations. At this point, you might start to back down and go back to your safe behavior of just being nice. But you have to resist and do the right thing at the right moment and keep on doing what you have to do. For example, your colleague needs help with this project he has. However, you will be the only one working on it, meaning that the colleague is giving you basically his work to do. This means that you have less time to do things for your own. Your past self would say, sure, I'll do that, I'll help him out, because that's what a nice guy would do. However, You dread doing other people's work, which is logical because they can do it themselves. So this time you remember that you won't be nice in any situation. So you start being powerful and bold and say to the colleague, I don't want to do your project, I'm busy on my own. You can ask others if they could help. Now this will make you feel very scared and uncomfortable the first time, but you have to be powerful and bold because chances are that a colleague will keep on pushing. And that's just basically when you repeat yourself. As I just said a minute ago, I don't want to do your project, I'm busy doing my own. Ask someone else. The colleague will back off, mumbling something about you under his breath. But who cares? You aren't responsible for other people's feelings. You are only responsible for your own. Third, work through the internal backlash. Anxiety, flashbacks, guilt, doubt, whatever. You will feel all these kind of emotions. Good job. You weren't a nice guy, but powerful and bold. Then why do you feel all these negative emotions inside? Which is basically a normal phenomenon, so you don't sweat it. You were nice your whole life, so acting in a powerful and bold manner feels very unnatural at the beginning. And because it's unnatural, it will take a lot of time and effort to normalize this way of speaking to people. You shouldn't be discouraged, because the more you use this strategy, the more niceness will flow out of your body. You have to make sure to evaluate each situation, and you have to feel what you really want and express what you really want. Your journey of destroying your inner nice guy and reincarnating out of these ashes into the powerful, bold and authentic phoenix starts right now. It will be a long and hard process with many fallings, but if you keep on going forward, you will think your past self and you will be finally able to live your own life. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe and like if you like my content. This will really help my channel out. Bless and goodbye.